Here's a daily reminder that the Democrat Party and woke corporations think black people and brown people are too stupid or too helpless to have a photo ID to vote. Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I always say what you are thinking. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, liking or rumbling this video, commenting on this video, and of course sharing this video, especially with your filthy leftist friends, because they truly hate my guts. And for me, that's a badge of honor. Okay, you do not understand how crazy it's been for the past, I don't know, a couple weeks, 8 weeks. I don't know how long this has been going on. But we are finally in the new place. It's fantastic. I will never, ever, ever take for granted the miracle that Fred has been in my life. Ever. So it's just been a little crazy, but I am back. And no podcast again this week, but I promise next week we'll get back to the regular schedule. Let me know. Do you like having two shows to listen to? Or are you just I prefer a daily video? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, I already taped my Saturday show, so we'll see. I don't know. I might mix it up. Don't know. Anyway, let's give this eternal killing plastic straw to Liz Cheney, shall we? Because I think this has been such a great, beautiful sting, and those of us who've been following Q for a very long time have understood that this is all what it's been leading up to. So let's talk about what I mean. And for those of you unfamiliar with what QAnon is, I'm sure you're not if you're watching this channel, but you may not have been on there ever or recently or whatever. They tried to lie and say that QAnon was a bunch of people that said that lizard people were running the world, real dumb stuff. And because Q was talking about the elite pedophile rings a few years ago, and people were like, what? That's crazy. Until, of course, Pizzagate happened and all the weird code words. And then, of course, everybody connected to these swamp rats. So, it's a mirror. It's amazing, isn't it? They all seem to have a kitty touching problem. But anyway, I digress. A lot of what Q has said has come to pass to be true. And one of the things that I will always remember is during COVID, and I said this to someone in May of that year, during 2020. I said, they're doing all of this to get rid of one guy, right? That, right? To get rid of one person. And they're like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, really? Because, the arrows on the floor and the plexiglass isn't stupid. What are you even saying here? They need the masks for the theater of it, etc. Speaking of the masks, if you'll go back to, I believe it was May 5th of 2020, there was a post on May 5th, and then a post 3 days later on May 8th. Now, the post on May 5th, and this is how I knew that Q was real, okay? Or at least a lot of it is real. Obviously, not all of it is, because I think there's misdirection going on. But a great number of things have come to pass. So, in the Rose Garden, Trump was having his daily press conferences in the Rose Garden, giving Dr. Fauci plenty of leeway. I'm going to trust the experts. This is what they say, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he knew. He knew. And I think when this time period is written, he's going to be like, man, I'm sorry I had to put y'all through that. But it had to be this way. It really did. Because people had to have a belly full of it. And people had to have just enough. You know what I mean? So Trump was allowing Fauci to talk, whatever. But before the press conference, in the White House press pool, there was a picture from the vantage point of someone sitting in the Rose Garden. So, picture on your phone. Not a professional picture, just a screenshot. And in the picture, you could see the media talking to themselves. They're two inches away from each other, just yakking, laughing it up. Everything's great. And, of course, then they start yelling at Trump about everything and the body count, whatever. And then the next post, or the one 3 days later that I'm thinking of, same vantage position from the Rose Garden. So again, someone who was there. And then the picture is of all the media wearing masks. All of them. Fauci included, everybody. So someone gave a directive between May 5th and May 8th that we need to ramp this up because the American people aren't really going along. We need to make sure that we get those drop boxes and mail-in ballots and all the things they did in order to perhaps manipulate the 2020 election. So that's when I knew it was like, I mean, I thought it was real before because a lot of things seemed to add up. But after that post, I'm like, okay, this is real. Like, this is for sure real. And the post was like, you know, May 5th, no masks. May 8th, masks. Reconcile. What changed? So all that is to say, this is a big lead up to say that there is some serious told you so's coming. Now, the January 6th committee was obviously a fraud, obviously a witch hunt. Obviously, they invented things, they deleted files, they made it seem to be something that it wasn't. They denied that FBI had any operators there when clearly they did, and they had to. The inspector general had to admit this this week, saying, "Yeah, FBI had like 23 informants in the crowd on January 6th. I mean, at least, okay, let's keep it 100. But, you know, all the things that the January 6th committee did. Now, there is a post. There is a Q post. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to post it also as I'm reading it, so you can see what I'm talking about here. And I remember when this came out. This came out right after this Cassidy Hutchinson girl supposedly was going to have this bombshell report about all these crazy things that Trump did on January 6th. Now, the things she said he did were so batshit crazy. Like, it's almost like Trump and the team is like, you know what? We're going to see how much they'll swallow. Just like the tyrants saw how much the world could swallow when it came to COVID and all the things they did. Team Trump is like, you know, they hate me so much. And they will literally fall for anything. And we're going to make the most outrageous, outlandish claims possible to entrap these people in the government, people in the media, working together, colluding together. And I need someone to volunteer to do that. So I think what's going on here is that a girl named Cassidy Hutchinson, who in this post I'll read to you, she's going to be playing a very important part in history, turns out. Those of us, again, following Q, knew this back in 2022. Cassidy Hutchinson worked in the White House. She was buddies with Alyssa Farah Griffin. Now, Alyssa Farah Griffin is now on The View because she sold her soul. She got a bioweapon injected into her arm, and she took a dump on her former boss just to be on TV. Like, that's the level of corruption we're dealing with here. So Alyssa Farah Griffin basically acted as a conduit between Cassidy Hutchinson and Liz Cheney of the January 6th committee. Now, it's not just Liz Cheney. It's all of them. But Liz Cheney has been accused, credibly, of federal witness tampering, criminal witness tampering. It's going to be fun. So let me read this post to you. And then we're going to talk about the absolutely insane things that Cassidy Hutchinson said that they wanted you to believe with a straight face that Trump did. Like, this is how dumb they think you are. All right, here's the post. What is it? This is June 29th, 2022. So I'm not sure exactly when Cassidy Hutchinson dropped, but it came after she came and went to the January 6th committee, okay? What is at stake? Who has control? Surprise witness. Who was surprised? Who will be surprised? Use your logic. Can emotions be used to influence decisions? How do you control emotion? Define plant. How do you insert a plant? Can emotions be used to insert a plant? Who is Cassidy Hutchinson? Trust the plan. Q. I literally have goosebumps. I'm not kidding. I had goosebumps today when I was taping the show too. Because it's just, and I've said this before on this channel a lot. I'm covered in goosebumps right now. It's crazy. What we are witnessing right now is God's vengeance, okay? God's vengeance on a people that have been abused and destroyed. And all the things that the deep state has done, all these evil people, the things they've done to all of us, is now going to be coming out and coming back on them. And if this is not a major God wink going, I got you. I got you. God is only going to stand by for so long and allow injustice to reign. And I'm not saying that I understand the mind of God, because I don't, because I'm not omnipotent. But I do think that what we are witnessing right now is certainly divinely inspired. And God definitely has a plan here. Now, let me read to you. This is what's crazy. So I'm going to insert here some screenshots that Cassidy Hutchinson and Alyssa Farah had, okay? Basically, Alyssa Farah is using herself as a conduit again to Liz Cheney, saying that, you can go behind your lawyer's back, and we should fire your lawyer, we get you another one, like all these things, right? So if Cassidy is a plant, and this was all set up, and it was like, okay, Trump's like, okay, let's say some crazy stuff, like absolutely crazy stuff that no one's going to believe, except they did believe it. They not only believed it, they didn't do any research on it. It's like John Kelly saying the Suckers and Losers hoax, or the Charlottesville hoax, or all the hoaxes. Like, nobody came forward to say that anything that Cassidy Hutchinson said was real, okay? So, here's some of the crazy things that Cassidy Hutchinson said happened on January 6th, all right? She said, this is the craziest one to me, that President Trump, while he was driving down to the mall, where a million people were expected to show up, he knew there were going to be a million people showing up, and he told everyone this is the Stop the Steal rally. He asked for National Guard help. He said, hey, Nancy Pelosi, Muriel Bowser, Mayor DC, we need some National Guard here. They denied him the National Guard. So they wanted this to happen. It was all a setup. And now that we come to find out that the FBI had all these informants working behind the scenes, like, none of this is surprising to any of us who know these things. So one of the things that Cassidy Hutchinson said to Liz Cheney is that Trump, when he was in the limo, commandeered a limousine from a Secret Service agent, like went crazy and like grabbed the steering wheel and was like going all over the place. Also that he said that, she said that January 6th protesters were like, hang Mike Pence, which I've never seen and never heard. And they were like, oh yeah, Trump agreed with that. Like, Trump thought that was cool. Also, something she said was that he knew about this in advance, okay? That he knew about it and he allowed it to happen. That's not true. There's been no evidence put forward that any of that is true. Not only that, the January 6th committee has deleted files. They have doctored evidence. They have used edited video to make it seem like it was much more scary, put sound over the video, all the things that Tucker Carlson ended up being fired for because he dared to play the unedited January 6th tapes. Like, and by the way, if Elon buys MSNBC, like, I want to see Tucker. I want to see Tucker in that primetime slot, man. That is going to be such a beautiful bit of schadenfreude. Anyway, all this is to say that Barry Loudermilk's committee, the House Oversight Committee, it's like a subcommittee of the Oversight Committee. So Barry Loudermilk, Georgia, MAGA, gives 0 Fs, right? Says, I want a criminal referral for Liz Cheney because she suborned perjury, she witness tampered, and oh, by the way, Alyssa Farah Griffin, like, you're in trouble too. So I hope you enjoyed being on TV and, getting your 15 minutes of fame, because now you're really going to be famous, Alyssa. Like, you're going to go down in infamy, just like the rest of these people are, who have such blinders on and such hatred for one guy who's trying to make America great again. And the American people now have given him a mandate to do that. And so once these investigations get going, Trump settling for with ABC News for $16 million is going to be chump change. Like, these news organizations are going to go out of business. Like, they're going to go out of business, either by Trump suing them into oblivion when he finds out that they've been colluding, that they were colluding with government sources, or they're going to exit themselves stage left because they don't want the heat. Like, it's going to be wild, you guys. Like, it's going to be lit. 2025 going to be lit. And I will say this to everybody, just keep your eyes. Who's Cassidy Hutchinson? Q told us. They said Q was a conspiracy theory. I think we know what it means if someone says something is a conspiracy theory. It means that it's probably true. So it's going to get real fun for those of us who've been trusting the plan these many years, and can't wait. It's going to be great. All right, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. I will be done. Bye.